Well, this is what the season has come to. The Toronto Raptors roll into Detroit in March 2024 as underdogs. The season has spiraled so far out of control that, yes, we were 3.5-point underdogs here and end up losing by 9 points. Let's break it down for you in tonight's post-game show. Post-game shows like this are always live out here on the Amateur Reactions channel after Raptors games the morning after, but you can also catch these streams live on Amateur Sports. So wherever you're watching this right now, make sure you're subscribed, especially if you like what you see, because you're going to see more content like it right here on this channel. And if you do enjoy along the way, make sure you do hit that like button, help drive us up in that YouTube algorithm. All right, that game lasted way longer than it needed to. The Raptors really drew this one out. Fouling late, trying to get the ball back in a game that was already a foregone conclusion. Really fighting to the bitter end of this one in the 9-point loss to the Detroit Pistons. For anybody saying that this is a team that the players, the coaching staff during the game are making decisions for the detriment of the team, trying to tank, I got news for you. This is them absolutely trying to win the game and doing everything in their capabilities to try and win the game. You know, obviously, pre-game, outside of the games, yeah, they're tanking 100%. The guys are sitting out. There's injuries. This team is tanking 100%, but once that jump ball goes, once the game begins, this team is out here trying to win games. You make no mistake about it. Along the way, you know, is development being prioritized maybe a little bit more than winning? Sure, but in the end of the day, Dark was putting out a team and coaching his team to try and win games. Unfortunately, a 9-point loss here to the Detroit Pistons. Obviously, there's no doubts here. If the team is healthy, the team is serious, the Raptors very likely win this game. I know they didn't beat the Pistons earlier this season when they were trying to be serious, but, you know, if Barnes, Pirtle are playing here, very likely the Raptors are favored. Very likely the Raptors do win this game. But as it is here, a little bit disappointing in the way it kind of pans out. You know, you can understand losing by 7 here. The Pistons have been much improved since the trade deadline. They've won a couple of games in a row now. So, yeah, you know, you can understand how the Raptors lose this one. But along the way, a pretty lackluster performance from the middle of the second quarter onwards. The Raptors played pretty well out the gates, especially in the second quarter. Got themselves out to a 16-point advantage even, but Detroit slowly chipped away at that, modified their game plan, and just really ran away with this one in the second half. They win the third quarter by 9 points, and the fourth quarter by 5 points, despite the Raptors, again, taking those big advantages early on in the game. Game plan in the second quarter for the Raptors where things started to click. Just denied those entry passes to the bigs for the Pistons. It took the Pistons a little bit of time to adjust there, but as the Raptors found success, they were getting steals, getting stops, using that to get transition opportunities. But overall, scoring was down for the Raptors. Couldn't generate enough offense overall. Shot the ball poorly in this game. And the Pistons, there was just a complete lack of resistance defensively by the Raptors, and they were able to take advantage. All things, you know, I'm saying with the understanding of guys out, missing game with the tankitis, guys out actually with injuries, all this understanding, like, you know, I kind of expected the Raptors to lose this game. And in the grand scheme of the season, yeah, a loss is definitely better overall, especially with, at the time of recording, the Grizzlies currently losing to the Charlotte Hornets, though not out of reach for the Grizzlies as of yet. Hopefully the Grizzlies can manage to pull out a win there, but whatever the situation is, understanding it all, I felt like they could have brought a little bit more here, but you know, I can understand how the game spirals out of control just like this. Along the way, though, even with losses like this, there are still some individual performances where there's positivity to take away at the very least, which you can be, you know, pretty happy with walking away. Kelly Olynyk played well. He's seemingly starting to find his range from 3 for the Raptors. He had 19 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 8 assists, 6 rebounds on 8 of 11 shooting. Started the game 4 for 4, had 10 of the first 17 points for the Raptors as well. Bruce Brown, a positive game. He's had some struggles for the Raptors, but 17 points here. 5 assists go with it, 8 of 12 shooting. Manuel Quickley was good late in the game, 8 of 19 in this one, 25 points, 8 assists. These sort of games are good opportunities for Manuel Quickley to learn how to be the lead player, the focal point for the team. I think these reps are extremely valuable to him, and you're getting these extremely valuable reps even out of games like this where the Raptors clearly are tanking. Grady Dick, not his best, 4-13, 1-6 from 3, and Ochai Agbaji. Oh, man, I think it's a good sign that the Raptors are tanking, because if not, he probably wouldn't be getting play time. He'd be out of rotation. Hasn't looked good in his time with the Raptors as of yet, but young player, second year in the NBA. I think there's reason for optimism for the future. Hopefully things start to pick up. Bench minutes were pretty good, actually, early on in the game. Jalen McDaniels was 4 of 11 here with 8 points, one of his better nights as a Raptor. Jordan Nwora, 5 of 11 with 12 points, and one of the best players of the night, Jontay Porter, 3 of 6 from the field, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 blocks, and a steal. Great night defensively by Jontay Porter. Kind of did everything he could for this team, and is really earning himself a spot for the roster, more so in the summer, but perhaps for next season as well. What was confusing about the bench minutes was the distribution here to Jahmi'us Ramsey. I've wanted to see Jahmi'us Ramsey play. I'm happy we did get to see a good amount of play time here, but 19 minutes was just too much for him. He had 7 rebounds. He hustled. That's great, but he was a -10. Started the game 0 of 6 from 3. Started the game 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. Ended up getting a wide open dunk, which was a cool dunk. Like, he windmilled it. That was cool, but felt like he overstayed his welcome on the court as the Raptors were trying to get themselves back in the game. Would have preferred to see Javon Freeman Liberty minutes as well. Not sure why he didn't play here, unless there's an injury I'm unaware of. For the Pistons, a lot of different sources of offense here. Jalen Duren, the best performer of the night. 27 minutes, 24 points, 23 rebounds, 9 offensive rebounds as well. 9 offensive rebounds is 3 more rebounds than any Raptors player had tonight in totality. Cade Cunningham only has to play 28 minutes for a pretty comprehensive victory overall for the Detroit Pistons. The Raptors were really only staying this game through turnovers. Once that turnover well dried up a little bit, well, actually it didn't even dry up. The Pistons turned the ball over 22 times compared to 11 by the Raptors, yet the Raptors only managed 16 points off those turnovers. The Pistons made up for those turnovers by getting 11 offensive rebounds compared to the 3 mustered up by the Raptors. 19 more rebounds in total. So, yeah, even with less field goal attempts, they took 5 less. They did get 12 more free throw attempts and did a lot more with those turnovers being forced than the Raptors did. Even with 64 points in the paint for the Raptors, 48 for the Pistons, they had a more dispersed, well-balanced offense. The Raptors, not a lot of weapons here, not a lot of defense being able to be deployed. It's easy to see how the game did get away from the Raptors in the way that it did. Again, kind of a shame looking at the box score to lose by 9 to the Pistons, but when you see the players playing, doesn't make a bit more sense. Absolutely. So, it's nice. Games like this, they help with the tank. We started the day a half game up on the Grizzlies. If we lose this and the Grizzlies beat the Hornets tonight, then we're behind the Grizzlies. And for the people who were like 1 week ago saying the Raptors aren't bad enough to catch the Memphis Grizzlies in the tank race, well, they might already be lower than the Grizzlies after today, and there's still 16, 17 games remaining. So it was very easy to catch the Memphis Grizzlies. Can they continue to do this? We'll see. We'll see how egregious the tank gets, but this was one of the more winnable games for the Raptors as we go through the rest of the season here. Not a ton of super winnable games for this team looking at their schedule. Obviously they had this one tonight, which was winnable against the Pistons. Upcoming stretch is pretty heinous. The Magic are on a great run. The Raptors get them back-to-back. Then it's the Kings. Then it's the Thunder. Before, a winnable game against the Wizards, a winnable game against the Nets. Then you have the Knicks, the Sixers, the Lakers, the Timberwolves, the Bucks, Wizards again, Pacers, Nets again, then the Heat twice. Doesn't feel like a lot of wins are on the way for the Raptors here, and if this game is any indication, it's going to be a rough watch the rest of the way. But we'll be here enjoying the journey for these players. We'll be here seeing where this team can go for the rest of the season, individually speaking with the players, and maybe put ourselves in a great position to get an opportunity to have that pick in the upcoming upcoming draft. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe, as we're getting ready for the Raptors' next game coming up on Friday against those Orlando Magic.